This is the most dangerous road in Alaska. 414 miles of rough road, limited services, heavy industrial traffic. We're to be crossing the Arctic Circle all the way to Prudhoe Bay and back for a total of over 800 miles. And that's why my friend Brad and I decided it was going to be the first place we go on our next bucket trip.
Everybody says Alaska is the last frontier. I just see Alaska as the wild beauty that we love. It's super remote, it's massive, it's got all the wildlife, all the water. There's so much to see, and I just hope we can see almost all of it.
Onyx Off-Road presents Bucket Trip. Our journey north is going to take us up through British Columbia and Yukon over the course of several days. Winter here is just beginning to thaw.
We are right now just south of the Yukon border. We should be crossing into the Yukon today, and then we got another couple of days of driving before we cross into Alaska.
It's snowing and it's cold, my friend. I was in flip-flops and shorts like 5 days ago.
Entering Yukon.
Everybody says Alaska is the last frontier. It's super remote, it's massive.
And this is one that we've been talking about since the end of our trip to Arizona. We were like, where are we going to go next? Obviously, we're going to go to Alaska, the last great frontier. We've been traveling for about 3 days, and we are getting close to the Alaska border. We should be getting there tomorrow, I think. But for tonight, we're camped on this beautiful beach that we found using Onyx Off-Road. And if you take a look at the screen right here, you'll see some of our routes and waypoints that we've planned out. Bucket Trip 3?
Heck yeah, man. Alaska, here we go. I'm ready.
How good is that shared folder feature in Onyx Off-Road?
That is incredible. So I spent a lot of time working on the route and all the waypoints, and then I would send it your way. You'd give me a little feedback. I add some more things. Then I'd text you and be like, oh, I found another cool spot. Check it out. It was really fun creating that and then being able to work back and forth with that. So it was good.
Yeah, we're going to be following that the whole route, and you can follow along with us, so check out the link in the description. Also use code TSTN20 to save 20% on your Onyx Off-Road subscription. So this is going to be our third bucket trip. Our first one, we went to Tuktoyaktuk at the topmost point of Canada. And then our second one, we traversed the entire state of Arizona.
Bucket trips are trips that you just have wanted to do for so long. There's a lot of distance involved, there's a lot of logistics involved, and it's not something you want to do by yourself.
We're gonna get this adventure started and start heading towards Alaska. We gotta make a stop in Whitehorse first. There's something we need to purchase, and then it's onward. You ready to get this officially underway?
I am, man. I'm going to miss this campsite, but I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Heck yeah. I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, dude, we're missing something.
Never go on an adventure without the right hat.
Way in here, we did see a brown bear, so I'm keeping my eye out for any wildlife because I'd like to get some cool shots. I bought a big zoom lens for this trip, and I intend to put it to good use.
Moments later, this beautiful white-haired grizzly appeared on the side of the road. It was calm and just observed us, and I took it as a good omen for our trip.
That was so awesome. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. All right, we've arrived in Whitehorse, the capital of Yukon. All right, we didn't find exactly what we were looking for at the sporting goods store, but I did get a little bag of flies for my fly fishing rod.
We continued north towards some epic-looking mountains as we passed a herd of buffalo along the side of the road.
These mountains just look crazy.
I marked several, not knowing where we were going to end up today if we decided to camp before the border. And we saw what those other two like, but this is where we're at, and then it's a ways until we get to the next one.
Yeah.
That one's got potential because it says wild camping on a
that
lake.
one's kind of off. Is there a road that goes there though? All right, guys, we followed a trail down to a lakeside camp spot to check it out. Not quite as early in the day as we'd like to stop, but we had to check it out because look at the views around us. These mountains are insane. But we're thinking the best call is to carry on and put some more miles under us towards the Alaskan border. Miles.
One of our goals on this trip was to do a lot more fishing, so we took any chance we could to throw in some lines.
My theory is there's just no fish in this river. We have made it to Alaska. Get in here, Brad. Yeah. All right, we are officially in Alaska. We've been driving most of the day. We just made a stop at Fairbanks, picked up a few supplies for camp, and now we are making our way to the start of the Dalton Highway, which we'll be traveling over the next 2 days probably, depending on how things go along the way, to get up to Prudhoe Bay, which is the top of the world. This is the most dangerous road in Alaska, the Dalton Highway. Hello. How's it going?
I want to ask you one thing. Is it the stone? Is it the heat? Is the glasses?
We're not from around here.
Yeah, I'm from California.
So, did you finish the picture? Did you take a picture already?
This is the most dangerous road in Alaska. 414 miles of rough road, limited services, heavy industrial traffic. We're going to be crossing the Arctic Circle all the way to Prudhoe Bay and back for a total of over 800 miles.
So the Dalton Highway was built specifically to help the logistics of building the pipeline to get oil from Prudhoe Bay all the way down to Valdez. And they didn't build it to be, you know, a passenger road. It's a rugged road that over the years has been repaired and washed away and repaired and washed away. And there's not a lot of resources out there. And if you're not careful, you could find yourself off the side of the trail or running out of gas, and it could be a long time before you get assistance.
Sounds exactly like the thing to tackle first in Alaska.
Man, it's already looking beautiful ahead of us.
Yeah.
We've just got down to Dalton, and the views are already spectacular. I can't wait to see what we're going to see on this.
I mean, I can see off in the distance what the scenery's looking like. Just want to get through these trees and be able to enjoy it. But I'm excited, man. This is what I've been looking forward to for a year since we've been talking about this.
Yeah, we're finally here and doing it. We are here. You can see we've marked our first potential camp spot right here. So it's 7:37 p.m. Probably check this out and see if this is going to be a good place to stop for the night, because we haven't even had dinner yet.
This is it?
Well, no, this is not it. This is the road being completely flooded out.
Oh, wow.
So we got to our first campsite that Brad had planned out for us, and there was a slight problem. There was water flowing through the trees, and the campsite had turned into a lake.
We had driven quite a few hours that day, and so we were already pretty tired, and we got to the first campsite completely flooded and washed out, at least a half a foot, maybe even deeper. And so, you know, we had to do what we always do on these trips, and that's improvise.
Okay, so plan B for camp, we're going to be crossing the Yukon River, correct? And then looking for a place to camp?
There's a marked campsite on the other side of the river, next somewhere near the gas station, like on the beach. And then if not, there's that campground that's just a little bit further from that spot. But that is a gas stop for me.
Copy that.
So on the Dalton, they built a bridge over the Yukon River, which was a pretty big undertaking. But that bridge, again, was strictly to support the equipment and the vehicles building the pipeline. And so I think they finished the bridge in like 1968, but they didn't open it until the 90s.
So until 1994, you could not cross the Yukon River Bridge. That was kind of the end of where you could drive as part of the public, and then they opened it up. So it's what, like 25 years ago? The spot that we were looking for to camp on the river was covered in giant chunks of ice. So we're 0 for 2 for camp spots.
Up and look to the right here while you go down there.
Sounds good.
After a late arrival at camp, I made some dinner for us and we just went straight to bed. Camp was nothing to write home about and the bugs were absolutely awful. In the morning, we just kept things moving and got right back on the Dalton.
All right, we are rolling out of camp back onto the Dalton Highway towards the Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle, let's go! All right, we're about 62 miles into our 414 kilometer journey, so we got some distance to go.
Sure. At this rate, though, I think we'll be doing just fine.
I'm excited that we're going to the Arctic Circle again, because that was awesome last time.
All right, I can't wait to just see the barren landscape again.
Tell from the sky we're getting up towards the Arctic. It just looks different, like the clouds are closer to you and the sky is bigger.
Still, we're only a ways in, but man, the road is really well kept. Hopefully they keep it like this for the trucks all the way up, huh?
Yep, I hope so. We definitely know how some rough, bumpy sections can slow us way down.
You know, those truckers, like, that's money for the whole industry, and they got to keep this road so they can keep up their pace. I'll bet it's pretty well maintained. We'll see.
When we went to Tuktoyaktuk last year, we had crossed the Arctic Circle in Canada, and now we'd be crossing it for the second time in a second country, the United States.
What other countries can we cross the Arctic Circle in?
I don't know. I mean, I imagine Russia for sure.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
You try to figure out where we could ship our vehicles and do it a third time?
Yeah.
Sure, there's somewhere.
All right, we are almost at the former ghost town of Coldfoot, Alaska.
Then they decide like what section is pavement and what section is mud, and what section is gravel. Like, is it just whatever they got on hand and who's got the contract to build it?
Maybe rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, I see. So the gravel guy's lost.
Must be. All right, we're in Coldfoot. There's a gas station here, so getting some diesel. It is quite expensive, $7.49 a gallon, but it'll be more expensive when we get to Prudhoe Bay. So we're doing it. How much is gas?
It's only $7.49 a gallon.
It's the same for diesel.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. It's super cheap.
Super cheap. I was almost full. Well, this place was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I could have expected more.
Peanut butter cookie was good, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's a little dry.
No one ever talks about the fact that there's large sections of the Dalton Highway that are paved. It's kind of weird because we're like 200 miles from the nearest civilization, but it's full-on paved out here, which kind of takes away from the ruggedness of it.
But it doesn't take away from the views out here, which were getting better by the hour.
We were looking for a good campsite. We did a little exploring and kind of had some failures, but Sean got pretty motivated and he's like, you know, I think there's something down here. And after getting through a good amount of rocks and some mud, we were camping right on the beautiful river. So we've decided in our bucket trips that we want to do something unique every trip. And this one was going and buying some crossbows, which, yes, we're a bunch of teenagers.
Did I hit the middle?
Might have been a bullseye, yeah.
We came down this little trail onto a riverbed and found the perfect spot under some mountains where we could shoot some crossbows and chill a little bit. So we did a little bit of target shooting with our crossbows. It was the first time for me shooting a crossbow.
In the morning, it was time to push towards the Brooks Range, which is supposed to be one of the highlights of the Dalton.
So today we're going to be heading through the Brooks Range and over Adigan Pass to get to the top of the world. We have, let's see here, about 200 miles to go.
We're going right in the thick of that.
I do.
I knew that we were going to experience some incredible beauty on the route, and I had no idea how beautiful the Brooks Range was.
So the pass at the peak of the Brooks Range is called Adigan Pass, and it's actually also the Continental Divide. So all the water from that point either flows to the north or it flows to the south, depending on which side of the mountain it's on.
So we're driving for quite a while, and the road's, there's nice mountains and nice views, but it's all pretty same. And then we get to this point where we drive up this little shelf road, and we come up over the crest, and boom, there's just these giant snow-capped mountains all around us, and it turns into one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever driven my truck. Blowing my mind right now, guys. It's beautiful up here. This is not what I expected. I don't know what I expected, but this is better than it. takes a lot to impress me these days, but man, this is a pretty cool road.
The next section here is what's known as Adigan Pass. We watched as several heavy trucks came barreling down its winding path, which is just barely wide enough for two-way traffic. We waited for the right timing to make our go at it. The wind was absolutely ripping through here.
Reached the top of Adigan Pass, our minds were already blown, but then coming down the other side, it was just continuous. It was just so gorgeous, the ruggedness of the mountains, the snow on there, and it makes you wonder how they cross that pass in the dead of winter. I mean, we were in early spring and it was easy going, but man, it was beautiful.
We just summited Adigan Pass. Start heading down. After coming out of the pass, it felt like we'd crossed through a gateway into the Arctic. The terrain had completely changed, and the temperatures had dropped well below freezing. Miles approximately from the top of the world, driving across these tundras, and low fog, low cloud just moved in on us here. So now we have super low visibility and we have to watch out for these oncoming trucks that come by quite frequently. The further
north on the Dalton we go, we started to spot a few caribou here and there. And it started to be just one here and one there, and then it was a couple, and then it was just these lines of caribou.
I think we've probably seen about 1,000 caribou up here, and we just saw this whole train of them walking across the snow. It was awesome.
We could get some snow today.
In the forecast for Prudhoe Bay for tomorrow and the following day, so it's possible today, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like precip up there, and it's -2.
It's also 27 degrees.
And that sounds way hotter.
Yeah, we got a ways to go.
Visibility's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not going to help our time distance. I'm looking for a muskox.
That would definitely be cool to see.
All right, we are just rolling into Prudhoe Bay. All right, we've made it to Dead Horse, the end of the Dalton Highway, which we're sure of because of this sign. We did it.
We did it. We're supposed to ring the bell? What's the bell?
Ring the bell and heal yourself, it says. Okay. I'm healed. All right. We have made it to the northernmost point that you can drive in North America, Dead Horse. So we're going to stick our sticker on the wall, get something to eat, turn around, and go all the way back the way we came. But this is just the start of our bucket trip, so stick around for the next one because we're doing a bunch more cool stuff, right, Brad?
Lots of cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff.
So as we're approaching Prudhoe Bay, Dead Horse, I knew that this wasn't going to be a spectacular ending like we had when we reached Tuktoyaktuk when we did our first bucket trip. It's an oil field. There's a lot of industry there. There's a lot of equipment and machinery. In fact, if we want to get out to the ocean, we've got to take a tour, which we're not going to do because we've already been to the Arctic Ocean. But it was cool to see. It was a cool experience, and to be able to get to the Dead Horse sign was a pretty good accomplishment. But now we've got a whole long journey to go home.
We have to put our stickers on the wall to signify that we finished our journey. It feels good that we've completed this first mission on our bucket trip. Now we've got to head back down the Dalton Highway.
I grew up in Oregon, and I spent a lot of time in the military back and forth to San Diego. So I'm accustomed to sunny skies and warm weather, and waking up at about 5:30 in the morning, making a cup of coffee, and there is a good 2 or 3 inches of snow on my truck, and it's extremely cold outside.
Oh, it's a chilly one this morning. Got to get all the snow off the windows, and whew.
Neither of us had slept well, and we had a long journey ahead of us to get off the Dalton Highway in less than ideal conditions.
I'm struggling, dude. I'm tired.
Do some jumping jacks at the sign.
Yeah, I need to. Something. Slap in the face a few times.
Pretty foggy on the pass this morning.
Dude, 18 Fahrenheit? That's freaking cold, my friend.
Sketchy.
Yeah. All right, my friend, we're leaving the Arctic Circle.
Well, see you next time.
I could definitely spend a whole day here.
That's what I like to hear. We're looking everywhere for a campsite, not too far because it's getting late in the day and we just want to wind it down. And we found a river bar that is pretty fantastic. So we're gonna set up camp here.
I mean, it only took a little extra searching and some help from a local. Sometimes all you gotta do is just be nice to people and they'll give you the good intel. So we got good intel about this and we got reinforced good intel about the trail we're going to tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty excited. So Brad and I really want to do some fishing on this trip. We brought our fishing rods. We've got a little friendly competition going on. Who's going to catch the most fish? All right, Brad, you ready to catch some fish?
Man, I hope so.
Just heading down this river. We're going to find ourselves a good place to fish.
Feels good, man. Feels good out here.
It is nice out here. Got one. Oh, good fish. Nice.
We were having a blast out here on this river, catching fish and just enjoying Alaska.
Kill me, man.
That would be... I've caught 5 fish so far, which is the most fish I've ever caught in my life. So
it's definitely a good day.
yeah. Today we're going to be heading out near Denali to an old mine trail up to a mine, which should be interesting. We're going to see some different terrain here in Alaska, and I'm excited for it.
I feel like things are changing today.
Things are changing. We're into phase 2.
Yeah, it is phase 2.
Yeah. So first we got to get out of this nice riverbed campsite that we saw, head back through the flooded trail, and then we'll be on our way.
I was feeling pretty excited to hit the Denali Highway and get on a real trail and see what kind of trouble we could get ourselves into. Some of the more wild areas out here offer incredible landscapes to explore.
This is Alaska. Right here. We just came from way up here, the top of Alaska. We're now in the middle of Alaska, kind of heading south. I think we're headed towards Anchorage. All right, we have started the Denali Highway. It is cold out here. It's around freezing. It was snowing a minute ago. but the scenery is quite nice. Hopefully the weather clears up a little bit and we're going to make our way to the start of our trail, which is kind of an offshoot of the highway. All right, guys, we've just gotten to the trailhead of the McLaren River Trail. It's going to take us up an old mining road, through some water crossings. Trail's going to get rougher as we go, I think. We're excited to kind of get onto some rougher trail after a lot of highway travel and actually have some fun with our trucks, eh?
Yes, let's do it.
Also, the views around here do not suck.
We headed into the trail towards some snow-capped peaks, and it wasn't too long before we started seeing some snow patches on the trail.
This is getting interesting quick.
Yeah, I like it.
Trying to film and wheel through the snow at the same time. I don't know what I'm doing.
Kind of want to get my snow boots on. We're having fun now.
This is a fun trail so far. We've got sections with like a foot or two of kind of slushy snow.
You're pretty stuck.
I think I'm pretty stuck.
Dude, none of your wheels are spinning.
Noticing that.
Nice.
This trail was going to make us work for it, but luckily, snow is a familiar terrain for me.
So already on this trail, the snow is starting to become a challenge. It's just when it packs down, it gets kind of slick and slippery, and we're starting to go up these little hills.
I'm a Southern California guy, so this is not familiar territory with me, so I'm glad I'm with you. But yeah, that was struggling. I had to back up and go forward, back up and go forward, but we got it. Now
The
I
nice
gotta
thing
go.
is there's these dry patches too, so like it's not non-stop.
Yeah, but we gotta get up this hill.
Yeah. Kind of the perfect amount of snow just for a little bit of fun. Hopefully it stays this way and doesn't get too deep that we can't carry on, because the mountains up ahead of us look amazing. Brad has gotten himself what we like to call super stuck. All four wheels are spinning, so he's gonna bust out the kinetic rope. We'll give him a little pull backwards and we'll try it again.
What's the trick here? Reverse or neutral? What works better?
Put it in reverse, and then I'm just going to slowly pull you backwards.
Copy.
So I was leading today, and I'm trying to get through this snow, and I'm just not doing it. And I don't know if it's I just don't have the clearance, I don't have the experience. So I'm gonna let Sean lead for a little while.
Just needed a little beans. Looks like we're going down quite a bit in elevation from here on forward, so hopefully the snow just gets less.
The snow was definitely not getting less, but it was getting finer.
As we're getting up there, we're starting to notice there's a lot more snow on the mountains and on the trail as well, which we're getting a little bit worried about.
Perfect amount of snow just for some fun.
Well, for now.
Thought I was done with this for the winter. But hey, we're snow wheeling in Alaska.
Things were going pretty good for a while until I found myself in a deep snowdrift, unable to move even an inch.
All right, I've gotten myself pretty stuck here. Tried the kinetic rope a couple times, tried the max tracks. Truck won't budge, so I think winch is probably the safest way to go. Brad's on a pretty solid ground there, so I wonder if, yeah, he should be good there, eh? Pretty solid.
Yeah, I think so.
Working hard or hardly working? Hard to say today.
You know the last time I used this winch? I was with you.
I have that effect on people. All right, good times. Let's do some winching.
Pulling me forward.
Might have to dig out around the front tires a bit.
Copy.
It got super mega stuck in like this 3-foot deep snowdrift over a puddle. And when I say stuck, I mean this thing was glued to the ground. So we start shoveling. We got 2 shovels out. We got the max trucks out. We're trying, my tires are just spinning. I'm high centered and it's basically on a block of ice. Like it will not move. Yeah.
He got himself stuck. So now I don't feel so bad, but we've got to get him unstuck. And boy, he got himself stuck good. I'm going to be here for a minute.
I don't want to do this for hours. Just let it go right now.
No, me too. Nothing.
It's pretty hard. I mean, it's almost ice. Yeah.
We tried every tool in our tool bag, and it really came down to just digging out his axles and really giving it with the kinetic rope. We tried it several times and we were starting to get worried.
we got it unstuck after digging for about an hour to get all the snow packed out from under the axles. Brad with the perfect speed kinetic line pull. We got it unstuck. Now we got to figure out how to get out of this without getting it stuck again.
Little perseverance, a little more digging, a lot of cold. My toes were pretty numb when it was all said and done. We got him out of there, and I think the best call is to turn around and go find camp.
Sometimes that's just the way things go on an adventure. But we got unstuck, and we probably won't forget that one anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
Got under your skin. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside. Heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right. Moments pass, make this one count. Untie.
All right, we found ourselves a campsite not too far up the trail. Back the trail from where I got stuck pretty bad, and I think we're both pretty happy that we were able to get out of that without much trouble. There was nothing to winch off of except for each other, so.
I like your definition of not much trouble.
That's probably the most stuck I've had this truck.
Well, it's just another day in the office, you know?
Yeah.
And we had a beautiful view while we worked on it. And, I can't feel my toes, so that's good.
Well, I'm going to make us some bison tacos for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
So that should warm us right up. I'm also going to change out of these wet clothes.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so this is the dinner situation. We got taco kit, we got taco cheese, we've got ground bison, jalapeno hot sauce. That was a lot of work getting out of that stuck, so I'm gonna make some dinner for us. Oh yeah. Taco time.
After today, anything would be good, but this is going to be especially good.
It's gonna be good. Oh, look at that taco. I think that's a good reaction.
It's so good. I'm so hungry.
Completely forgot about getting unstuck in the snow.
No, I haven't forgot about that, but I'm going to destroy some tacos, dude. Thanks for making dinner.
Taco cam. What are you laughing at? Beautiful morning here at this camp just off the Denali Highway. Amazing snow-capped mountains in the distance. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to keep going down this trail. As you saw, there was too much snow for us. So we're going to start heading towards a lake, and hopefully we can have better progress out that way. I'm excited for today. Should be good.
I think if it's anything like this, it's going to be great. There's a few less shoveling will be great.
Yeah, less shoveling, ideally, more going, less not going. You can see here we've got our route all set on Onyx Off-Road, which is ready to go using our offline maps feature. And you can use the offline maps feature very easily by just clicking on this little button down here and saving the area that you want to bring with you. And then you don't have to worry about not having your maps when you have no internet service. Great feature. Use my link in the description to download our map or to sign up for Onyx Off-Road and save 20%.
While we were a little disappointed that we didn't make it to the mine, it was still worth coming out here for these views. And there's still lots to explore. We're going to head towards Roosevelt Lake, which we hear is amazing. We've got about 40 miles to go up the Denali Highway here towards the next trail.
Just saw a mama moose and a baby moose, which was pretty cool. No snow on the ground here, which I appreciate. But we are going up to about the same elevation as where we got stuck, so we'll see how it goes.
And the Dalton was cool, scenic, but this feels a lot more wild, rugged, and kind of what we were hoping for up here. So I'm enjoying this. The views are spectacular. There's no one else out here. There's no trucks barreling past anymore. It's good. And just maybe we'll get to see a little bit of mining history along the way.
You see the old prospector cabin up there on the hillside. You can't get to it anymore. It's all washed out. Water must have been really flowing through here. Think there's gold in here, partner?
Definitely gold in here. That's what that cabin is for. I guarantee it.
For sure. Destination, which is Roosevelt Lake. No snow problems this time, just a little patch of snow that I went through, but nothing really concerning. But we quickly realized that we weren't actually at Roosevelt Lake, and it was further up the trail. Lake's frozen, wind is chilly. It's probably coming off these big rocky peaks up here.
It's a very nice spot.
A little cold.
It's a little cold, that wind coming off that frozen lake for sure.
A couple little water crossings, some beautiful creeks, and we reached the lake. But lo and behold, it's the wrong lake.
Well, it's what, 12:30 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty early in the day.
Pretty early in the day.
I think.
Yeah, that wind coming off that frozen lake is, it's bitter. That's bitter cold right there. It's beautiful up here, and I know the rest of this trail is probably going to be more of this incredible scenery.
All the more reason to keep going to see where we can get. we gained some elevation, there started to be more and more snow on the trail again. And not too much further ahead, it got really deep.
We're climbing up to the Roosevelt Lake, and we just passed this tractor, and he said, we're probably not gonna make it, but we don't adhere to those rules. We're gonna go try it. And well, we're not making it to Roosevelt Lake today.
Unfortunately, there was too much snow on the trail for us to keep going. We ran into one of the mine workers from nearby who was there with some equipment trying to clear the trail, but he said he wasn't gonna be clearing the trail until the next day. And you know, we got places to be, so we're gonna crank it around and see what else we can do. Well, stifled by snow again, eh? Caution, moose. All right, we found ourselves on a kind of tight 2-track here, just off of the highway. We're trying to find somewhere to camp. Hopefully this goes somewhere. All right, well, our trail today didn't work out as planned, but we found ourselves a nice riverside camp spot after putting in a few more miles. Pretty chill here, nice and quiet. We're gonna get set up, maybe get a little campfire going tonight. How many days we've been in Alaska, Brad?
I don't even know what day of the week it is, Sean.
It is Sunday.
Is it Sunday? Is it really?
It's Sunday, yes.
I have no idea.
Well, the real question is, does it matter?
You know, it doesn't matter. I'm just not looking forward to the last day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first day and the last day are the only ones that you remember. Oh no, let's go into prison, sorry. Well, it's worked out all right.
Worked out pretty good.
We always seem to end up somewhere good, no matter what goes right or wrong during the day.
Yeah, you know, today was an adventure. There was a lot of turning around and wrong turns
And snow.
And mud.
Sounds like the right stuff.
Sounds like the right stuff.
Well, cheers to more adventure tomorrow.
Cheers, buddy.
We are in Alaska, currently camped on a riverbed. We're about to head up an old mining road built in the 1920s. How are you feeling about this old rugged mining trail this morning, Mr. Recon?
If anybody knows anything about me, I love mines and any kind of history about mining, gold rush, all that stuff. So this is right up my alley.
Yeah, me too. All right, I got to get my truck packed up, get ready to go, and we're going to roll out. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, do all that fun stuff for me. I appreciate you.
The trip has been getting more rugged as we go, and it's been a really good time. The last couple of trails we took, though, we couldn't make it to our planned destination due to snow on the trail. We really wanted to overcome that.
Road. Close to a dozen water crossings that can be up to 2+ feet deep with strong currents, depending on the seasonal snow melt. We're hoping this trail is going to take us to some views of the tallest mountain in North America. Maybe see some wildlife. We don't know what to expect really, but we're excited to go explore.
These mountains are incredible, but now there's some snow on the trail, and I gotta be honest, I'm a little sketched out with the snow on the trail and a nice cliff. The views might be good, but I'm white knuckling it here for a minute.
As we were headed down the trail, I heard a weird banging sound under the trail B&B.
All right, which side is it on?
Over here, you see?
Oh, over that side?
Big ass rock right there.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to push it through. I can probably pull it through here. I just couldn't pull it through the top. Just come over and get your hand in there and push it towards me, and then I can grab it. You really need to come far.
There.
Yep.
Oh, it must have gone in through the hole on the outside, eh?
Look at that big rock. Still had in there.
There was a big rock in my wheel. So I was driving down this shelf road and hearing this weird metal clanking sound, and I thought something was broken. Turns out, big rock in my wheel. So got it out. This guy could have been a lot worse.
We were making it through the snow patches so far, and the views out here were awesome. And you know, as long as we're having fun, it doesn't matter where we end up. We were having fun.
much snow up at the top of this road, so we're gonna back down by the river here that we just crossed and then find somewhere to camp there. We're gonna camp out in the snow in the middle of nowhere in Alaska. I need some firewood. Not a lot of fallen trees out here, but I did this good looking thing right there. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to move it. It's bigger than it looks.
This was a lot more effort than it was really worth.
I caught one. Thanks. It's the best I could do. There's not a lot of fallen trees in Alaska, apparently. I don't know if it'll work or not. It's actually still got stuff growing on it, so it's pretty fresh. Looks like it just broke off recently. But it's the best I could find. All right, well, unfortunately, we got snowed out yet again trying to get up this trail, but that's okay. We're gonna do a little snow camping. We found ourselves a nice spot here, flattened it out a bit with the trucks. It's right next to a creek here, so I'm gonna try and do some gold panning later, but first, I'm gonna get everything all set up, and yeah. This is all right. We're out here, we're in Alaska. Not bad for a snow camp, right?
Dude, this is all right.
It's not the desert, but it'll do.
Not the desert.
Look at you looking all Canadian with your t-shirt on in the snow.
Dude, shoveling snow is hard work, man.
Yeah.
Down on the banks of the Old Man River, heavy air calling rain. They say if she keeps up and delivers, levee will break again. Tell me, what could you do then when the river comes a-calling? Bend a knee and pray that you can stay in the good grace of the water. Storm, she stalled and danced. Days of rain and wind, mist hanging in the valley. Victim of a circumstance. Try your hand at sand, but no, the banks ain't holding. Old Man River rising 3 foot by the hour. Drop your bags and run, you know, surrender time has come.
Cheers. To the best fire ever created in a snow camp.
Thank you, Duraflame.
With chemicals. So this is an old prospector's trail built in the 1920s, which means they were looking for gold, which means there might be gold out here that hasn't been found. Seems unlikely, but there is a creek right over here, and I feel it would only be appropriate for me to see what there is to be found.
I forgot my gold pen.
Oh man, well you can try mine if you want. You just got to follow the moose tracks down to the creek. I think those are moose tracks. I mean, those are big tracks.
Yeah.
I feel like my odds are pretty good of finding gold here.
Well, he's a fool for gold. Yes, he's a fool for gold. Sean thinks he can find gold, but all he found is the wild Alaskan cold. Well,
There is no gold in this creek. Unfortunate. Brad is cooking up some ravioli, I believe.
Trying.
How goes the ravies?
Well, we got water boiling, so if that all goes well, we should have ravioli in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Excellent. It is another day here on Bucket Trip 3. We got to head back over this pass and out of here because this worked out, even though it didn't work out. But we're not going to be able to go any further. And Brad says he's got a surprise stop for me. So I'm interested to see what that is. And then we're going to make our way to the Glacier. Brad, you ready to get this bucket rolling again?
I am, but I'm going to miss this spot, man. I think this is going to be one of the most memorable campsites of the trip.
Definitely. We had a good time here.
We did have a good time.
We'd been on the go for days, and taking an afternoon just to relax and enjoy camp was much needed. And we had a great time as well. But now it was time to head back over the Shelf Road.
All right, we are back on the highway. I don't know where we're going. Brad's got some kind of surprise location for me, so I'm excited to see where we're going to end up today. And then after we do that, we'll start looking for somewhere to camp as we head towards the Glacier, which is going to be our destination tomorrow, and one of the things I'm most excited about on this whole trip. All right, Brad has brought us to the Transportation and Industry Museum of Alaska.
Brad and I both love history, so a place like this is the right stop for a quick break from the trails.
I love old cars, dude, like always.
Yeah, I drive one of these.
Heck yeah, I drive the president's car.
This is the president's car?
President Harding.
Look at this computer. .1944 Diston, official saw of the World War II U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. 48-inch two-man chainsaw.
That's awesome.
We're two men. Cool. Dude, it would be so cool to get one of these running and take it out. Got some old trains out here. Some cool stuff.
Alaska history.
Alaska history. So right now we are in the last caboose ever used on the last wooden caboose ever used on the Alaska Railway. This is built in 1917. It's pretty cool. It's got these bunks because I guess people slept in here, but I like train. Wooden stove inside the train. That is a big airplane. All right, after a lot of driving from the museum, we have made it to the trailhead for our next location. We're gonna head out and find a nice place to camp on the beach out here tonight. It is unfortunately super windy, so hopefully that doesn't make things too unpleasant, but in the morning we are gonna head up all the way to a glacier, which should be amazing. Ready to get sandblasted?
I hope not. I'm looking forward to this trail, but I don't want to get destroyed.
Yeah, hopefully this wind ends pretty soon.
Yeah, let's hope.
know if you can see it on the camera how much the dust is just whipping around in here, but man, it's super windy. Way at the end of this river valley, there's a glacier right there. And we're gonna drive all the way up the riverbed right to the glacier tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome if we survive this windstorm.
All right, we made the call. It's too windy to camp out on the riverbed. We found our spot here kind of tucked in between the trees, and we'll wait out the windstorm and head out to the glacier in the morning. Warmer here.
It's, you know, it's not the most scenic spot we've ever camped at, but at least we'll get a good night's rest.
It's of necessity.
Yeah, it's really of necessity. We do have the peak of the mountain over there, which isn't bad.
Yeah. It's pointy. All right, it's morning. Conditions are not ideal, but it is time to head to the glacier, and we'll see how it goes. You feeling good about this?
I'm feeling good about this.
All right.
We were pretty excited as we headed onto the Glacier Trail. We weren't even into the good stuff yet, and Alaska was already showing us some incredible scenery. But up ahead, there's several river crossings we're going to have to tackle.
All right, we've got our first really big looking water crossing to get through here. It's very silty, so you can't tell how deep it is. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Throw it in the middle. See if you can get like spirit. No, that didn't help.
Failure.
Do we want to go talk to these guys?
I just think that that's probably the better, because it's shorter. It might be deep right there, but you'll come right out onto that sandbar.
Yeah.
So let's go do that.
Ran into some guys on ATVs who said a couple of forerunners crossed here successfully yesterday, but then another guy on an ATV said it's way too soft, don't do it. I stepped my feet in there and it seemed pretty solid on the bottom. The problem is we don't know how deep it is in the middle. I think it's going to be pretty darn deep, but at least it's not too short. It's like maybe 3 vehicle lengths across. Also, I'm going to send Brad first. Brad, how you feeling?
Yay me!
What's your strategy? You going to go slow or are you going to send it?
I'm not going to send it. I think I'm going to, as long as the bottom feels good, I'm just going to take it nice and easy. Water I don't think is rushing too hard, so it shouldn't push me around.
Brad's just like, we're on an adventure. Let's give it a try. It looks pretty deep, but we're gonna try and make it across. I'm just thinking out loud here. Yeah. Maybe I should position my truck at the back there in case anything goes wrong. We can quickly get a line on you.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea to have stuff ready to go.
I have to give Brad a lot of credit here. He dove right in with no solid evidence that this was crossable.
Yeah. That was fine. That was awesome. It was more than fine. It was so good. That was so deep. Water was right up over my hood. We're following the Glacier Melt River all the way up to the glacier. Right there. These water crossings are crazy.
They're a little deep.
That was intense. This trail's awesome. I'm having fun.
Same.
That is the Connect Glacier over there in the background. It is extremely windy right here. I have to stand behind my truck just so that I'm not getting blown away and you can actually hear what I'm saying. We can see the glacier now. We've still got a little bit of trail to go up through the mountains here, it looks like. And then hopefully we can get right up close to it and see some ice and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Ice
Excited?
and stuff. Yeah, ice and stuff.
Yeah, isn't this great?
It's awesome.
Pretty tight. Indeed.
The downside to having a large, comfortable, and spacious overland travel vehicle is, occasionally, you end up somewhere just a bit too narrow, and things crawl to a snail's pace as you try and squeeze through without damaging your truck.
There we go. Whew. Not great. So we still got quite a long ways to go. I don't know how long we're going to be in this tight tree section, but man, it is not friendly to the B&B. wrecked my roof rack.
I think over the 3 bucket trips now that we've done, tight trails seem to be one of our biggest challenges. Sean he's wide and he's tall, and the good news is if he can get through it, I can get through it. But I'm leading today, and we're having to kind of cut some branches and pull some things back. He's definitely getting some wear and tear on that 4-wheel camper, but we're gonna make it through.
We're only about not even halfway through the tree section. Yeah, that happened to me too.
The challenges and the beauty of this trail had me hooked. I was loving all of it, and the best was still to come.
You can see the bottom almost all the way through. You're just gonna have to watch those 2 trees.
Beautiful in here when it's not trying to kill my truck with branches. Ugh.
We'd finally made it out of the trees and back to the riverbed as we approached the Knik Glacier. heard really loud helicopters overhead, and I looked up and there's 2 helicopters refueling from a big jet, or not a jet, but from a big like military plane. That was super cool.
All right, guys, we made it to the glacier. It's super windy, super cold, but it's absolutely incredible out here. So right now, Brad and I are gonna go for a swim in the glacier water.
I'm gonna watch you go for a swim in the glacier water.
Look at that. Really?
Come on.
Yes.
Okay, we're sinking.
We're
I was doing good until Sean got in here.
Hey, what are you saying? Woo!
I think you're gonna have to go back first.
You don't say.
Yeah.
See if I can push it off. I'm coming back.
All right. Oh, easy.
We're in Alaska standing on a glacier. Woo! Woo! I don't want to get off. It's too cool. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's tipping. I think we want to get off the glacier. Woo! This is why we do it, guys. Get to see places like this. It's amazing. We found a campsite right next to the ice. This will do just nicely.
Found the best campsite of the trip so far, there was only one thing left to do: celebrate with some ice-cold beverages.
All the wood out here is pretty wet, but I cut some up and chopped up some pieces, and we're trying to get a bit of a campfire going. Mission accomplished.
I'm stubborn. Oh. I'm out here on a tour bus.
No, this is the only way. This is why we do it. Everything's moving. Look at that. whole bunch of huge pieces of ice just collapsed off of this piece over here. And then everything moved. It was so loud. Man, I didn't capture it, but like this big mound of ice out here, 2 huge chunks of it fell off, and then the whole thing just started moving, and everything started moving, and the water started coming up. It was crazy. Literally took my breath away.
That's cool.
We are in Alaska, currently camped next to the Glacier, which is like a 15-mile long glacier. I don't know, it's pretty cool. There's ice breaking off of it and making cracking sounds, and the views are pretty good too. But we're gonna leave here and explore further up the trail, hopefully get a little bit closer to the large section of glacier over there, see what else is around, and then we're gonna head out to a big kind of tundra type area to explore today. So I'm excited about it. You ready to leave this crazy place?
Not so much.
Not so much, right?
Yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
We weren't quite done with the glacier yet, though. We'd spotted some trails that would take us closer, and we absolutely had to go explore. Glacier is one of the coolest places I've ever visited, and these kind of places are what made me fall in love with this kind of travel.
Satellite image is crazy. You can see all the chunks of the glacier here, and we're just out here on the glacial riverbed. This is so cool.
Not satisfied until we'd actually reached the glacier, I pointed us up a trail that seemed like the right way.
This is where we camped probably right about here. And then we came up here, down across this river. Now we're going up over this little mountain. And we're going to try and get down to the glacier over here, which I think we can probably get down to about here, maybe. We have to go up and over this mountain on this road that's, you know, just barely wide enough for a truck. It's definitely like a quad trail.
Near the top, it was hard to see over the Ram's giant hood, so I had Brad spot me for tire placement over the narrowest section. The Knik Glacier is massive. It's actually over 15 miles long.
A little bit above awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we came down here.
100%. Plus, it was fun.
It was super fun. That trail was a little bit sketchy. It was narrow for my truck.
Yeah.
That one part coming down when it was like a little off camera.
Yeah, I saw you kind of tiptoeing a little bit. I was like, okay, taking his time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, we just drove over this, well, Glacier Field mountain, I guess, and out to the main glacier. So last night we camped near all the kind of chunks that are in this glacial lake, but now we've actually reached the, 15-mile long glacier. It's pretty impressive. Man, the places we get.
Just by a little effort. Just a little effort.
Yeah.
A little determination.
At this point, you know, it really feels like we've just gone on this amazing adventure to get here, and I'm loving every second of it.
neither of us will forget these past couple of days in Alaska. But we have more to do.
A couple of hours from the glacier, we're heading into another trail called Monument Mountain, which we found here on Onyx Off-Road, and then we're going to go to the end of that and beyond, hopefully, to a river site to camp tonight. So we'll see how this trail works out. There is snow up on the mountains up ahead, so it's going to be interesting. Climbing up this crazy steep hill, and I looked out the driver's side window and you can see a glacier valley over here. This looks like something out of a painting. It's insane. It looks so beautiful. So we've been driving on this trail for probably about an hour, doing some water crossings, and it's an interesting trail, but we come up this steep hill onto this ridge, and all of a sudden behind us, you can see these massive snow-capped mountains and this huge glacier, and the views just became unreal. This trail has turned out to be pretty fantastic. Views are crazy. Lots of fun water holes to play in. I'm liking it. Trail's turning into a lot more than we expected, huh?
I mean, I didn't think it was going to be like this, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun too.
Heck yeah.
Lots of good water holes, lots of good views.
A little bit of mud.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You love mud.
No. A hole.
Whoa. I was just driving down this road and this snow came out of nowhere. I'm stuck. Of course, once again, Sean's gotten himself stuck in a snowy puddle. It wasn't deep at all here, and then there's a water puddle here. So Brad's gonna break out the kinetic rope and see if we can get out of this little pickle I've gotten myself into. rescue.
Yes, sir.
I full sended when I should have half sended.
It's all good. It happens.
The trail was getting snowier as we climbed in elevation, but we were determined this time we wouldn't let it stop us. Plus, we were just having a good time.
So we've been hitting deep puddles and mud and now a little bit of snow. And I got to get on the radio. I'm like, Sean, don't get stuck. I don't want to be digging you out again because we spent way too much time doing that before.
Incredible up there. Felt like driving on top of the world.
As we're looking for camp, we're going downhill through 2-foot deep snow drifts, and I'm starting to get worried I'm going to get stuck going downhill. We're just making our way down into this valley now. We've been going through some, fairly deep spring snow, but a lot of it is downhill, which has been helpful. I did almost get stuck going downhill, but I did not get stuck. But we're going to try and find camp as soon as we can here because it is 7 p.m. and we have not had dinner. And there's a little valley down here with the creek, and I think that's our game plan. Well, bit of a muddy trail getting out here with some fun snow, but nice change of scenery. We got some sunshine. We're out here. We found a little grassy spot to set up camp kind of on this old trail. There's an old wrecked car down here that I guess got stuck and abandoned. Could be us, and it's not.
No.
This late in the trip, we were exhausted, and we went straight to sleep for the night. It doesn't get dark at night, making it hard to get a good rest schedule and to sleep well sometimes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is so peaceful here, and the sun's out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up before 8 a.m.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's a little chilly, though. I think we should go find some warmer weather.
Yeah, it's a little chilly because we're at high elevation. Also, we can't fish in this river because it's super muddy. Kind of want to find somewhere to fish, so we're going to carry on and see what we can find for another night. All right, we're rolling out of camp bright and early. Now we have to climb up a couple of these steep hills that we came down that were snowy and muddy. I came close to getting stuck going downhill on one of them, so I'm hoping that our tracks that we've made are going to make it easier to climb back up, which is often the case, but we'll see what happens when we get up here. Uh-oh.
Try this again. 4 high. Here we go.
This is a problem.
Way down.
We need maximum power, Brad.
Maximum power.
Full speed.
I think I'm going to drop my tire pressure pretty low and I'll just fill them back up later.
Ramming speed. Brad's going to try airing down a little bit because the hill climb is not working out. Engage. Full send. No. Almost had it.
I think I want to go one more.
Yeah, of course. You gotta go one more. You almost had it. Hey, step on the send pedal, eh? There it is. All right, let's see if I can take a bit more finessed approach. I doubt that it will work because it's a really steep hill, but I'd like to. Here we go. Well, that snow looks nasty. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Getting back out of this trail was turning out to be a bit more of a challenge than it was getting into it, but we're always up for things getting interesting.
We have set ourselves up here at the side of this beautiful river where we did a little fishing. I didn't catch anything. Brad caught a fish. A little bit rainy today. Yesterday it was a little nicer and there was all these mountains in the distance. But that's okay because we're heading out of here, and today we're going to do the famous McCarthy Road, which is an old railway, right? That went up to the Kennecott mine and the town of McCarthy. So it's got some history, and I love old railways. Even though it's not a railway anymore, we can pretend we're trains. So it should be a lot of fun.
Cool way to start a road.
Yeah, it is. We're now officially on the McCarthy Road, which is used to be a train route.
Going up the old McCarthy Road, which once was the railroad that pulled copper ore out of the Kennecott mine, is a cool experience when you think about the work that went into building this back in the early 1900s. This was a railroad, and how rugged and hard this must have been to build. And then getting to the Kennecott mine was, yeah, we love this stuff.
We're crossing a river right now on this footbridge, and then we're gonna grab a shuttle up to the mine. We're gonna check it out. It's got some history. Over here is the Kennecott Glacier, but you can see all out here, this is all glacier field where the glacier has receded. We're at an old mine. I love this stuff. I also love sandwiches.
After getting a great sandwich to fix my hunger issue, we headed over to the power generation building, which was really cool.
Guys, behind me here are some massive steam boilers. Huge. And something I didn't know about Brad that I just learned today is that he used to be a boiler technician.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a true statement.
Very cool. It feels lived in. It feels like you can feel the energy of that place when you're walking through there. It's just a really cool ghost town.
anytime I get a chance to go to a ghost town, I feel like a little kid, and Sean is he's the same way. The state of Alaska has done an amazing job kind of restoring and keeping the Kennecott mine and town alive.
All right, we just left the Kennecott mine. Very cool place. I wish I had more time to spend there. I could probably spend a few days there just looking around and taking it all in, but we got to keep moving. We're heading out towards an old train trestle that's on the way out of here. We're going to have a look underneath it and look around. We can't fly drones in here because it's a national park, but we'll have a look at it and see if we can get a couple shots. Look at this, guys. This thing is falling over. Look at that. The support beam's broken.
This trestle is on its last leg, literally. I'm thankful that we're here to kind of see it, because you can see there's already a big section that's fallen and the rest is about to go. They built this in 1911, and I think it was in like 8 days in the harsh of winter. It was like -30 when they were building this. Absolutely just a different type of person back then to be able to build this kind of stuff.
Pretty cool piece of history, huh?
Heck yeah, man. It's awesome. I love that it's still standing. That thing's over 100 years old.
Is it?
Well, yeah, it was built in like the early 1900s, like 1910 or something like that.
Wow, it's barely standing. If you go look over there, like some of the posts are broken off and they're not in the ground.
Don't rattle it.
Yeah, don't push it or it might fall over. Seriously, it's probably, this thing's probably only got a few years left. Especially if there was like a big freshet came through, probably take it right out. The creek here has created a massive log jam that's pretty much diverted the creek under the bridge, which is leaning precariously that way. You can see over this way. Over this way, there's not much left. This is all collapsed.
We were gonna kind of go back out the way we came, and Sean was like, hey, somebody mentioned we should do Top of the World. And I was like, yes, I've heard lots about that. Let's do it. So we are gonna take a different way out of Alaska, go through the town of Chicken and go on the Top of the World highway, which is something that I think we're gonna be very thankful we did.
All right, guys, we've stopped in the town of Chicken, Alaska, which is going to be one of our last stops in Alaska. We decided to go home a different way than we came in by crossing the highest elevation border between the United States and Canada on the Top of the World Highway. So we're headed to do that now. We're going to end up in Dawson, which is going to be kind of a full circle moment because we were in Dawson City for our bucket trip, our first bucket trip, which should be cool.
Very cool. Almost a year ago today, actually.
That is right.
Making our way towards the Canadian border, it was bittersweet knowing that the adventure was almost over.
All right, well, it kind of feels like we're back where we started, everybody, but we are leaving Alaska. We're currently at almost 4,000 feet elevation on the Top of the World Highway. Incredible views behind us. And we're about to cross into Canada.
It's a little bittersweet, but
is.
it's been pretty amazing.
It's been a good one, right?
Yeah, it's been a good one for sure.
Bucket trip 3. Bucket trip 3. Let's do a 4.
Okay, let's do a 4.
Yeah!
My favorite parts of the trip were 1, being in Alaska, 2, absolutely the Knik Glacier. Being able to camp there that's a memory that's going to stick with me for a long time. And I know this may sound weird to people, but digging Sean out of the snow, that was one of the highlights, because I know that we were going through a struggle together. We were trying to figure that out, and I think that is a piece of the trail that's going to stick with us for many years to come. I want to do a lot more bucket trips.
Just hanging out with Brad has been great as usual. We always have so much fun on these trips, and I can't wait to see what we do next. I want to do these bucket trips forever. Like, I'll do as many of these trips as Brad is willing to put up with me on.
There was one thing left to settle, however.
So we decided we were going to have a little rivalry. I think that was my idea, which was probably a bad idea. Who was going to catch more fish on this trip? Who caught more fish on the trip?
I did. I caught more fish.
Sean caught an amazing rainbow trout to kick it off. And then when we took that tour, well, I only caught 3 that day and Sean caught 5. So I think he won. I think the final score is 6-4, something like that. So I got to buy dinner.
This has been Bucket Trip 3, Alaska, and this is the story till now.